Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today's video is going to be a slight continuation on a topic I've already covered in a video. It'll be linked somewhere above on the SJW involvement in movies, TV, media, just regular life, all that kind of stuff. So that video, again, linked above. This is a continuation on one of the topics I covered in that, which is Bond becoming a new character in the sense of somebody else covering and taking over his legacy as not James Bond, but more as a female lead role, and trying to then downplay how Bond is in the movie. So with that, this is from the Daily Mail. This is an exclusive. The wokest 007 ever. James Bond gets an electric Aston Martin and a wife who refuses to take his second name in new Time to Die movie, but rude innuendo survives thanks to Fleabag's Phoebe Waller-Bridge. So with this, it's I don't understand why they're trying to woke 007. His character is not meant for this kind of era. All it sounds like is the Me Too woke media is trying to just tear apart this legacy, fill it in with something else, and force feed us that new character, and trying to make us all just accept that this is how it's supposed to be. So James Bond will drive an electric Aston Martin, Rapid E in upcoming film. For me, I'm not a car guy. I really couldn't care. And that to me is just whatever. Aston Martin's still a good car, still nice. So that would be cool just to see him drive something that, I mean, he's already driven nice cars too, so it doesn't really faze me at all. The script has Mr. Bond marrying a doctor who then refuses to take his last name. Now, that part I don't have a problem with, or her not taking his last name. There's a lot of people that have their maiden name hyphen their spouse's last name, or they just usually keep their last name depending on how successful of a person they are, or just how much they are known by that name. It's the fact that, again, like I said earlier, Bond is a womanizer. He is a playboy. I, along with a lot of other people, would not see Bond ever being married, and that's the part that I don't want to say I have a problem with, but I just don't agree with his character developing into, because I have no problem with marriage. I'm married myself. I love my wife, but for me, that doesn't fit his personality traits. And for him to settle down with one person and to be happy like that doesn't seem like something that Bond would actually eventually lead into. So fans might be surprised that innuendo has survived the woke Bond makeover. If it has survived and you're able to talk about it, it survived for a reason. It's pandering to the older fans and the older generations that grew up with Bond, where that wasn't anything that was new. Again, like I said earlier, he's very smooth. He's got good wordplay. He's very smooth with his actions and how he, moves around people and how he's able to get in and out of certain situations. He's very smooth with his words, and his innuendos were all very subtle. They played into the script really well to where it wasn't force-fed down your throat. It was more of, it fit line by line with keeping the moment going, and it was just there and gone. It wasn't something that was more of a highlight. It just happened, you laughed, and you kept going because the dialogue was so good, it kept you interested. So I don't understand why they have to put that in the title unless they are, again, trying to cater to the previous audience while appealing to the new audience by saying, oh, well, one thing has survived this, but it is still a woke movie. It's been billed as the most politically correct James Bond movie yet, but no, Time to Die has not entirely done away with the Benny Hill-style innuendo the Mail on Sunday can reveal. In one scene, Daniel Craig's suave secret agent is struggling to get a seaplane airborne as his passenger cries out, "Get it up," prompting the weary reply, "I've never had a problem with that before." That's as much as the joke gets from me, personally. I'm not even trying to do this for the camera or anything. It's funny, but it's not going to make or break the film. If it's really that bad of a joke and you're that offended by it, why is it in the movie? And again, you're only talking about and saying something like this and putting it in such a negative light because you're trying to appeal to the woke people while still giving credit, again, to the previous fans, because you want to have all those seats filled. But like with anything, if you try to appeal to everybody, you end up pleasing nobody. Learn that from Star Wars, with the new Rise of Skywalker movie. And it's just, you're taking all these little ideas, these thousands of different ideas, small ideas, and you got, let's say hypothetically, 1,000 ideas, 1,000 people, and you put them all into one movie and you give it to them. Now, unless that one idea is said through or done throughout the entire movie, that one person only likes that one moment, hates the rest of the movie. So you then again still have a bad movie. You just need to be able to make a movie that is for your audience. If other people don't like it, that's fine. You're still gaining your audience out of it and are able to, hopefully, what you want is to have repeat viewers. So fans who have come to love such double entendres might be surprised that they have survived the franchise's woke makeover that has banned outdated sexism and introduced strong female characters such as Lashana Lynch as another top British secret agent. We've had strong female characters throughout every Bond movie. Not all of them are damsels in distress. Not all of them are just acting like blondes. They actually do help Bond out, and a lot of them actually come to his rescue and are able to be such a critical point, and they turn the movie around. You know, some of them are only able to give him a little bit of information. Some of them are love interests that something happens to them, like Terry Hatcher. She was able to give Bond some information and was able to kind of warn him as to what's to come before her inevitable death. But she was still very strong in how she was portrayed, and the fact that she didn't fear Bond. She was strong, maybe not in physical strength, but in mental strength with being able to deal with her husband at the time. And she was able to break away from him despite knowing that because she ran, she would eventually be found and possibly killed. She went against the odds and still did what she felt was right. So she's still strong in that aspect. And I mean, there's all other kinds of characters, but that's just one of them I just wanted to point out. However, plans for her to become the first black female 007, taking over the codename from Craig's Bond after he retires, could be scrapped after her social media backlash. Sources say she is now likely to get another agent number, 001. Good. I like that, because this is not a Jane Bond movie. This is not a Mary Sue movie. This is James Bond. James Bond is supposed to have his name and his code name. The SJW movement is about taking male roles and downplaying them, putting females in those roles, and because the franchise already has a good reputation, has a strong following, and has a loyal fan base, they want their new character to be force-fed down our throats and push the genre forward and say, you have to now accept this character, and you have to like them because we say you have to like them. If you have a strong character, just last thing to point out for that, if you have a strong character and you want them to really push the genre forward, why not just do a spin-off? Earlier this year, this newspaper revealed that Fleabag creator Phoebe Waller-Bridge, they really hate her, has been brought in as a scriptwriter to ensure that the blockbuster was appropriate for the Me Too era. Why? Why is that important? I mean, those people, again, they don't like this movie, apparently. And it literally is just, like, if you have, I'm going to use small numbers just for easy math. If you have 10 people that are complaining about this movie, about the Me Too people that are complaining about this movie, but you have 100 people that are just loyal fans and they love this movie, and you change what the original 100 like about this movie to fit the criteria of what the 10 like, and say, well, this is now what it is, you have to accept it, you're only appealing and getting the money from these 10 people and 86ing these 100. I don't get how that makes profit to you, and why you would want to discredit and push away these fans and this ability to, you know, get box office numbers to appeal to these people. That just sounds like a disaster, and it sounds like you're literally just going to bankrupt yourself in the process, and your movie's going to tank. So, and now we've learned more secrets from the $200 million movie due out in April. Now, when it comes to profiting movies, whatever you spend on production, times that by 1.5 to 2 times is what you're usually going to be spending on marketing the movie afterwards, with TV appearances, commercials, online ads, etc. So I already covered this in the Dark Fate video I just did recently. Again, be linked somewhere above. But for this movie to now, if it's $200 million, holy shit, if it's going to be that much money, you have to make back in revenue $300 to $400 million to break even before you can start profiting on this movie. And with how bad Dark Fate has been doing, do you really think this movie, that one was agenda pushed too, do you think this one's going to be any different, or is this going to be just such a blockbuster success? Terminator was a big franchise, people loved it, but it tanked because it was agenda based. So the script has Bond marrying Dr. Madeleine Swann, a psychologist played by French actress Léa Seydoux, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, I apologize, who first appeared in 2015 Spectre, but she refuses to take her new husband's name. The morning after their wedding, Bond wakes sleepy-eyed and says, "Good morning, Mrs. Bond," to which she replies, "Don't you mean Miss Swan?" A source said the phased Bond girl was outlawed from the set. The women in this film are all strong, brave, and fiercely independent. These women are not helpless girls who jump into bed with Bond. Their reactions are very different from what people might think. So, it used to be kind of a status symbol and something that was looked at as something very cool and something that was an honor to be given the title of Bond girl, because you weren't, like I said before, you weren't helpless. You weren't just some idiot that, you know, the only thing you brought to the movie was your looks. You actually had a role to play in this movie. And I mean, even like I said earlier, Terry Hatcher, in an online interview with her leading up to the movie, her husband actually, when she was on the fence about being in the movie, he kind of helped to motivate her to actually go through with it, because he said, not only is this going to be good for your career because you'll have been an actual Bond girl, but how cool it would be for me to be able to say, hey, I'm actually married to a Bond girl. Bond tries the usual seduction techniques, but they fail miserably. It's really funny. So it just sounds like, again, they're trying to just cripple his character and change everything about him to fit the Me Too movement, and pretty much just to downplay his importance or to just completely get rid of it, in hopes that this will be a good segue into, hey, let's have Lashana Lynch's character just take over now. So, Miss Lynch, 31, said of her 00 role, "Everyone was really responsive to having her be what I wanted. You're given a fresh perspective on a brand new black woman in the Bond world." So it's almost like she's trying to say, oh, well, you need to have someone who's actually strong because we've never had a strong female black woman. Do you not remember Halle Berry's character? You know, Jinx? She was very strong. She's very badass. And just like I said earlier, she had such an important role in the movie. Yes, she and Bond hooked up, but that was only a small, subtle little moment in the movie. The rest of it, she actually had a good supporting role to helping defeat the terrorist that they were going after. And then, you know, wasn't Moneypenny in one of the last movies, wasn't she black? So, I mean, I don't get where her angle really is on this. Or she's just trying to highlight it for herself and to try to just, you know, gas herself up with this. She was determined her character should be a real woman who has issues with her weight and maybe questions what's going on with her boyfriend. Why? Why does that matter? What is that going to bring to the story development that we otherwise wouldn't get? Why is it that, you know, is she going to be reloading her gun? Oh my god, I hope my boyfriend's okay. Oh man, I need to lose some weight. I hope he's not cheating on me. He's so immature. I don't know why I'm even with him. Like, are you kidding me? What is the importance of that? Why does that matter? And it's not that women haven't had real woman problems, but it's just, why does that matter? But let's get to the last thing. She even discussed something which has never made into a Bond film before. We've had one conversation about her maybe being on her period in one scene and throwing her tampon in the trash. The thing with that is, why? You understand children are going to see this movie, because when I was a kid, my dad took me to see Bond movies because they were awesome. So I can only imagine adults are still going to have their kids watch this. So I mean, no, let me get this straight. You're going to have her take out her tampon and on screen, on the white screen, have her have the bloody tampon visible and throw it in the trash. Are you kidding me? Like, I just don't get it. Why? What is that going to do to the character development of this person into the story other than make every guy in the theater go, oh, that's disgusting. What is that going to do? I mean, okay, this I know is crossing the line a little bit, but women on their period, already dangerous creatures as it is, you're now going to give her, on her period, a license to kill. I'm done, dude. I can't, dude. Like, comment, subscribe, all that shit. I can't. That's so stupid.